Swedish automaker Volvo has abandoned a plan to sell only fully electric vehicles by 2030. The car maker blamed a slower than expected rollout of charging infrastructure and uncertainty caused by recent tariffs on electric vehicles. Under its revised target, Volvo said it will aim for 90 to 100% of its global sales to be either pure electric or plug-in hybrid by the end of the decade. Well, let's speak to Sebastian Stein. He's Professor of Electronics and Computer Science at the University of Southampton. Thanks very much for joining us here on BBC News. So, how much of a surprise is this announcement in terms of a rollback on EV cars?
So first of all, I think it's very disappointing because it does show a lack of confidence in the transition to electric cars. But overall, it's not that surprising. There are other auto manufacturers who've made similar rollbacks in the past, so including Ford, for example. And the uptake of electric cars has slowed down recently, including in the UK and especially in the EU. So actually the market share there has gone down.
So what's the problem?
Well, I think several reasons. First of all, electric cars are more expensive than their combustion engine equivalent. So it's about 20 to 30% more expensive to buy an electric car. And that's the cost of manufacturing. Then subsidies have gone down recently, making them more expensive. And then also you mentioned the introduction of tariffs on Chinese cars. A lot of cars are manufactured in China. So that means that the manufacturers have to pay more to import the cars to the EU, for example, and other countries.
Yeah,
but yes, maybe also to add, the other issue is that people are really worried about charging their electric cars, and they feel that the infrastructure is not developed enough at the moment.
Yeah, is that the range anxiety that you've planned a long journey and you're just not sure that the charging stations are going to be there when you need them?
Yes, exactly. And 2 years ago, we at the University of Southampton, we surveyed over 1,000 electric car drivers and asked them about their experience. And actually a third of them were not happy with their experience of charging on long journeys. And also more recent similar surveys have found similar figures. So that's quite worrying.
What do you think this means long term for the future of electric vehicles?
So overall, I'm optimistic. I think electric vehicles are the solution to decarbonizing our transportation system. I think, there's a slowdown at the moment, but lots of developments are taking place. So cars are getting cheaper all the time, including electric cars. And then the infrastructure is developing quite quickly. There are several issues, including planning applications that take a long time, connecting them to the grid, which again takes a while, so that it always lags a little bit behind. Actually, recently in the UK, it's been going a bit more quickly. And also in Southampton, we're working on new research that is going to help the uptake of electric vehicles. So I'm working on a project that's looking at using just renewable energy to power electric vehicle charging stations. And that means you don't need that planning process, or not as complicated a planning process.
Sebastian, I would love to hear more about your project, but I'm afraid we are out of time. But Sebastian Stein, it's been really good to talk to you, Professor of Electronics and Computer Science at the University of Southampton. Stay with us on BBC News.